Yes. What's going on, y'all? All right. Look, I know I see a lot of people up in the chat, man. I want to say thank y'all for just being patient and just waiting for me to just work out life stuff, come back, get healthy, do a lot of different things. And man, I want to say I appreciate all of you guys. I've been seeing your messages. I've been seeing the comments on the shows. I've been seeing when I comment on stuff, you comment back. You know what I'm saying? And you guys have been showing me love, so I totally appreciate it. I'm sorry if I'm not able to comment on everything. It was the holiday season. I was trying to get things wrapped up, get my household back in order, get things straight. You know what I'm saying? Get my business right, outside of YouTube and on YouTube. You know what I mean? And just get people to come through and just be a part of what we're doing as a movement. You know what I mean? Intellectual Soapbox is the movement, and we are, very appreciative of everybody that has been just supportive, man, and just showing love and asking questions and where you at and how you doing, how's your health. Thank all of y'all, man, for real. You know what I mean? Because without y'all, I would not be able to do this at all. You know what I mean? Without you and just definitely the strength of God, man, I wouldn't be able to do this. So appreciate all y'all, man. Much love to all Intellectual Soapbox family, all the non-relationship family, and three my business partners, Stan, Sophisticated Jerk, everybody. You know what I mean? That just comes through and shows love. Lola, Deja, uh, Grace, everybody, man. Everybody comes through and show love. But listen, all right. I gotta get to the show. Okay, we gotta get to it. All right. So, our show title today is "Colorism and Image in the Ethnic Community." I have several videos that we're gonna discuss. Y'all see the link is pinned in the chat. We're gonna definitely get into it. But before I do, okay, I have to introduce. You know what I'm saying? My guest here, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna be rocking, doing a whole bunch of other stuff after this, right? This is Crystal Carmen. Okay, she's a wonderful sister, and I know that she's definitely gonna share perspective on everything that we share. What's going on, sis? How you doing?
What's going on? Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Definitely. You know what I mean? So let me get to the comments real quick before I drop any of these videos. All right. Like I said, the link is pinned in the chat, and all the networks feel free to come up and share your perspective. All right. Y'all see the rules of engagement. You already know what it is. I'm not gonna go through the whole rules of engagement. You can read it at the bottom of the ticket. Y'all know what it is. You know how I move. All right. So y'all know. Just when you come in here, act accordingly. If you don't, you already know what's gonna happen. So, one salute to non-relationship. Salute to M3. My business partner, what's going on? What's going on in three? Salute to you. Don't like my music? What's going on? What's going on, bro? He said I'm here for you boys. Okay, thanks, man. I appreciate that. He said I won't agree with everything y'all say. Just be honest. Okay, cool. Salute to Be Easy, that dude. What's going on? What's going on? He said no need to pretend here. Definitely share your views on what I'm talking about. He said let's talk race. Let's talk privilege. Let's talk systematic systemic inequality. Okay, I said it completely wrong.
It's
He
okay.
said I've been skeeving on Insta. You real? Thank you. Okay. Salute to my man Bryson the Snake Fiend. What's going on? What's going on? He's giving a shout out to everybody. You know. Salute to 12th Street Talkback Podcast. Salute and definitely condolences to her family. All right, much love. Salute to her and her family. You know what I mean? Also, I see my man Sincere. You know what I mean? What's going on, Sincere? Shout out to you too, bro. What's going on? Salute to T. Colton Hodge. What's going on? What's going on? Salute to my music curator, Mr. Von Eric. What's going on, big bro? Salute to Mr. Bryant. Man, Mr. Bryant, hopefully you're safe, your family's safe. Shout out to everyone who's impacted by the LA fires. Okay? You know what I
Amen.
mean? So definitely give them a shout out, man. Give them love. If you can donate. You can show love in any way. Please show love, Mr. Bryant. Hopefully you and your family are safe and sound. All right, I'm sending love, healing, and safety energy all to you. All right. So yeah. All right. So yeah, let's get into this. We're gonna talk about colorism and image in the ethnic community. So before I drop any video, I'm gonna just get in. I'm gonna just ask a question to my sister here, right? When I say that, right, what comes to mind? And I want you to, and I want you to talk about it completely. I want you to talk about just the aspect of, you know, what images are accepted, what are not accepted, the whole colorism thing. I want you to really dive deep into this, and then I'll get into the video. So yeah, go ahead, sis.
So I mean, where do I really start with this, right? Because it's not, there's so many different ways in which, colorism has sort of manifested itself, and we can see it within our own communities, we can see it with others. But I think one of the things that are critical to sort of bring up is like there is this idea sometimes that those who are leaning toward more melanated skin tones um, don't have, I mean, and to some degree it's true, but like don't have like the same, or have like different problems than those who have closer proximity to whiteness, right? um, and are benefiting from that. And then I think that on top of that, which is sort of insidious if you think about it, so you have a community of people who are feeling like, okay, well, I'm not this, I don't have this skin tone, and so therefore I feel this. And then you may even have the opposite, and unfortunately sometimes it's encouraged, and I'll explain some examples of how that's encouraged. Well, you'll have, okay, so we have this section of people who are have proximity to whiteness and skin tone, who are feeling like, hey, these people don't accept me, or can be led to believe by way of treatment and commentary that they are in some regards better. And then so then you have a segment of people who belong with each other, who should be getting along, who are hating each other or upset with each other for different reasons, and then it just further breeds more and more contempt. So an example would be like, I happen to be lighter skinned than some of my relatives, right? And then they would say things like, oh, well, I don't consider you black. And I've heard this said to other people. So depending on what your skin tone is, you can also be asked, oh, are you mixed? Which is honestly really offensive, because black comes in so many different colors that it's impossible to kind of say this is that. And then just to ask it, like, what are you asking it for? What does this change? Like, having this information, what does it change about me? And I feel like it's meant to put you into one box or another. And then, in some ways, I feel like our community sort of encourages it. For example, saying things like, oh, oh, you're going to have babies with him because he's light skinned. Your babies are going to come out cute, and things like that, that can further perpetuate the colorism that we kind of experience on a day-to-day basis. And then those biases can also affect your behavior, and then other people see it and they repeat it. So it's a really sad cycle to sort of witness. And as a mother of 4 children, I have 2 of my children where one of them has a darker skin tone, and I watch this at play on a regular basis, between how they feel about themselves, so self-esteem, how they feel being represented in the media, movies, the main character, the stars of the show, the antagonist. So, I mean, as I stated, where do I really begin?
Wow, I'm glad you asked that, because I definitely have a video, and we could begin on there. And I would say for me, wow, the colorism thing, I've seen it in a lot of different aspects, especially the last year. And I didn't even know a lot of y'all was really this deep when it came to being pro-black until these things happened. I was like, wow, all these people are pro-black? I had no idea.
Right.
You know what I mean? When that whole Kendrick and Drake thing happened, I seen so many pro-black people, I was just confused. I'm like, I didn't even know you was pro-black. Like, you really with us like that? Like, for real? Like, you really rocking with us? Like, oh, so it takes a rap battle to get you to be pro-black. I get it. Okay. You know what I mean? This whole FDA thing with, we see Fat Joe, we see the Lord Jamars, we see the Tariq Nasheeds, we see all these people, right? We see all this, you ain't this black, and that ain't black, and that ain't black enough, and this side of black people represents this, and that side of black people represents that. It's just crazy how, you just kind of find out how people really feel when certain things happen, right? The election, of course, right? Oh, we've seen a lot of different things happen during the election, right? We've seen a lot of, you ain't black if you vote this, you ain't black if you vote that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What side are you on? You know, not knowing that whoever you choose, if you really look at their background, you're gonna see some things that you're not gonna like. You know what I mean? You're gonna see
Right.
some things against us that happen on both sides from both candidates that was not representative and basically beneficial towards our communities. You know what I mean? So that whole and then the people who were running for offices wasn't making it better.
Right.
They were blatantly saying, "Hey, listen, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. If you ain't voting for me, you don't represent us." Who was? But wait, what side of
Right.
us is this? Because when we looking
Well,
around and we having all this crime and everything else, and you live in the inner city, like I have lived in the inner city, sis, you know what it
right.
is. Like we see how the youth is moving. Like we don't see y'all out here really downplaying the drill music scene or downplaying the different things that's going on in our community or helping the homeless or dealing with all the mass people that you're bringing from different countries, right? That are
Right.
literally just taking over the city and y'all giving them benefits and they robbing and looting and doing a whole bunch of stuff. Y'all not really in the trenches when it comes to that. But when you want my vote or you want me to be supportive of whatever movement you got, whether it's hip
Right.
hop or or politics or whatever, now I'm not pro black if I don't take a side. To me it's just a bunch of crap, and these people ain't really representing us. None of them. They just pushing their bottom line. They want to get their money, and they want to make sure that they are in. They are relevant. You know what I mean? And that people and they're going viral, and people are basically showing them love and pushing their agenda. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with our people, our movement, or whatever else, right? So, and I love the stuff you shared. How we do it to ourselves, right? We literally do it to ourselves, and we literally separate ourselves. You know what I mean? And nobody else is doing that, but we literally separate ourselves. Let me give a shout out real quick. You know what I mean? To my family, Embrace the Grace. What's going on, Minnie Mariah? What's good? What's good, fam? You know what I mean? See you in the building. You know? Okay, you don't like music. I'm gonna read your comments right now before I get into the video. Because once the video start, you're gonna have some more comments. So he said, black people who are articulate and smart are considered smarter. Mm, that is
I'm
that is
sorry.
partly true. What are you gonna say, sis? I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Could you repeat what he said?
He said black people who are. I'll put the comment up. Black people who are smart and black people who are articulate and smart are considered smarter. Okay. Okay. He has
I
some other
think I know
comments.
where he's going with that. Is he? I mean, I would imagine, is he trying to say that if you are smart and articulate, that you're considered smarter than who though?
Mm.
Because like, there's been times where I will be engaged in conversation and people will just stop and go, "Oh, I didn't know you were that smart," or "You're really smart for a black person." So,
Wow. Wow.
or they'll be really impressed with how much knowledge I have in an area that I'm marketed as an expert in. So it's just things like that that can be frustrating. But
But
I
wait,
would need
there
a
is
little
more that
more.
he shared.
Okay.
There's more that he shared. So maybe we can get more clarification once I read more of his comments and we see more of what he says. He says, being smart is more about understanding language. Okay. He also says black people understand racism better than white people, the same way that women understand misogyny better than men. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, I can't
Sis,
argue with
you want
that.
to build on any of this?
Well, I just want to say that you can't argue with that. So I actually have like a white friend, and she will consult with me from time to time on things that come up. She's not afraid to sort of ask the uncomfortable questions. But not just her, but just our experience with her, as well as other peers, as well as colleagues. It is very difficult for people who are not black to understand a black experience. I mean, you can learn, you can read about it, you can self-educate, but until you know what it's like to be treated like completely different solely on something you cannot change, it's impossible to see something that you've never been exposed to. Like if you don't if you don't witness it, if you're not walking in it, you're not experiencing it, you can't call it out. Like, even if I have times where my friends have called it out, like in a hospital waiting room, where or things of that nature, or at a restaurant. But there's other ways, and like microaggressions that you can't pick up on if you weren't Black and were used to having those type of microaggressions and those digs and that discriminatory treatment. So I would have to agree with that. And the same thing, like, men see things one way, but they're not experiencing what it's like. For example, if I could share a story, it's not directly race related, but similar to what we were just discussing. There was a corner store. So I live in the Philadelphia area. So there was a corner store. So my male friend was like, hey, if you're looking for ABC, you could go to this store. And I said, oh, I'm afraid to go to that store after a certain hour. And he was like, what are you talking about? It's like perfectly fine. Like, that's a perfectly fine neighborhood. But he didn't know that every time I would go into those type of stores after a certain time, and there's like a lot of guys hanging out in the corner, I would have to play sidewalk shuffle with them to get in and out of the store. And they're like maybe approaching me or trying to talk to me or asking for my nut, whatever. And I would feel unsafe to do that. But in his head, he's never had to worry about guys sidewalk shuffling with him. So he had no idea what I was talking about.
The sidewalk shuffle is crazy.
That's what I call it. I call it the sidewalk shuffle. Like, you're not letting me walk. I can't go. Like, I can't walk. And so he doesn't know what I'm talking about. He doesn't understand that women are getting killed for not saying, not giving their phone number, or not, as presenting, as having interest in someone. So to him, he thinks I'm being dramatic and I'm making a big deal about going to the store.
Yeah. Exactly. Because he doesn't understand that as a woman, you're going to go through things that us men, we ain't doing a sidewalk shuffle. Dude getting away.
Right. Like, I mean, a girl might find you attractive, but I'm pretty sure she's not going to sidewalk shuffle you. So.
That's a fact.
And even if she did, most of the time you would be like, oh, just shove her out of the way, where that's not necessarily the case in my opinion.
Well, depending on the size of the man, you might be able to shove him out the way too. Some of you.
Yeah.
Oh man. You don't like music also says because you can talk. Okay. He said like people who can see can't relate to blind people. Got it. My man Bryson the Snake Fiend says, he said, right, sir. Okay, so I guess he agreed with something that I said. He said, I'll be on to give my uneducated opinion. Okay.
Uneducated opinion.
Okay. Mr. Brian said, color should never take precedence over the content of the character. Man looks at the outward appearance, but God ponders the heart. Absolutely. Bryson also says, or the old trope, you're considered to be acting white, talk white, or trying to be white. Exactly.
Oh yeah, I'm really tired of hearing that. I'm not. I can't. I would be rich if I had $1 for every time I heard that. That's definitely a thing. There is a surprise that I have any sort of knowledge in different areas, or like just simple things like I have a diverse taste in music. I listen to country. I self-study on quantum physics. This is all viewed on like, oh, you act white. So, I don't know.
Wow. And that's crazy how if we just do something that is not considered to be, I guess, part of the ethnic community or part Black or whatever, that we're automatically put into a category. Now, speaking of categories.
That just happened to me with a picture of Kendrick Lamar. Unfortunately, like, there was like an album cover with him, and I think her name is Scissor. I don't know who they are. Like I've heard of them. I don't want to say I haven't heard of them, but like I couldn't pick them out of a crowd, and that caused a little bit of a stir.
Yeah, because you say if you say anything wrong about the whole Kendrick thing,
and it's not pro-blacks
could be after you, or the so-called pro-blacks.
I know that Kendrick Lamar, who he is, like as far as like as an artist, but like I couldn't, like I said, pick him out of a lineup or out of a crowd. Nothing. Like I couldn't. But I'm very familiar. I've heard the work. Like So it's not like that. It's just not, I'm not an entertainment based person. So like I don't look to find out, oh, who's this artist? I just listen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I definitely understand what you
And
mean
that's
by
the
that.
same for any artist. Like there are some country singers that I love the song, I know it verbatim when it comes up, but I don't know who sang it.
Mm. So let's dive into this a little bit deeper.
Sure.
He said, "I'm from Toronto. Drink ain't us." Okay, I got you. Shout out to people who are on either side of the fence. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Okay, so this is gonna talk about light skin versus dark skin. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna watch the whole video. I'm gonna give 2 minutes because we have a few videos that we're gonna get into, and our time is limited. All right, we ain't gonna be here all night, all day. All right, we got things to do. So I'm gonna play 2 minutes of this, and I'm gonna let the brother share his view, and then we're gonna give our view. So let
Okay.
me throw up my fair use banner real quick. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna mute my mic, and let's get into it.
So we already ain't gonna be seeing as many positive images that have black skin in the first fucking place. One of the first big crushes I ever had in my life was in the 3rd grade. It was a girl named Kiera, and she was darker than I don't know what, but she was pretty as hell. So I never could understand why it's a big fuss over light-skinned women and all that kind of shit. You know, when Destiny Child came out, everybody was going crazy over Beyonce. I was one of the guys that was looking at Kelly. when you see the different models and all that kind of shit up to this day that be on Instagram, I still have I guess you can call it like a fucking, I just love dark skinned girls. I don't know what to tell you. But it's because of how I was raised up. In my family, I was never taught to look down on myself because I'm dark skinned. Matter of fact, I was praised for being dark skinned. When I was young, I got an auntie, my Aunt Robin. Shout out to Aunt Robin. She used to tell me that I look like Black Jesus and shit like that. You know, don't nobody know what Jesus really looked like for real, outside of what the description is in the Bible. But growing up, hearing that I look like Black Jesus because I got long hair and, you know, stuff like that, it make you feel proud about yourself. You know, so I don't take offense to people having affinities for lighter shades of black, because I look at it like this. They wasn't raised, or they wasn't programmed the way I was programmed. I was programmed to look at black like it was beautiful. Some people was raised up being told you look just like your black ass daddy or some shit like that. So now they done grew up and they look at their skin subconsciously like it's a hindrance to them.
Ooh, wow. Man, is this what you think?
So first I just love that his aunt sort of just poured love into him and just spoke fondly of him. And, you know, he was very lucky to be raised in that environment. Now, I mean, everyone like has like their preference, right? Like, okay, I'm attracted to this type of person or that type of person. Nature versus nurture. Was he naturally inclined to like women who were darker? Probably. I don't know. Was it nurtured and he felt safe and comfortable going with what he preferred? Because there's a lot of people, to be honest, who like a woman of a certain appearance, and sometimes they don't want to be like called out on it or feel like they don't fit in, so they lean towards something else. So I love that he was in a nurturing environment that supported and made him proud of his skin tone, right? So I love that part of the story. I do think that he's right in that, like, not being raised to look at his skin tone as some sort of hindrance was a good thing. And I think that that needs to be drilled into the head of all parents. You know, just like, hey, don't make those references where, you know, you're highlighting the person's skin tone. Not even in like, I don't want to say, not to be positive, like, oh, you know, you have beautiful skin or whatever, we can say that. But when you specifically are like, oh, you know, look at you in your light skin, like I said, or, you know, oh, you're gonna make the cutest babies, like, because I'm light skinned, like that is already building into the subconscious that dark skin is a problem. And to be fair, it already sort of is for the rest of the world, right? Like, we're already having it from everyone else, and it's just so important that we do not continue to maintain that status with each other and with our children, because we're already facing enough. So
he did elaborate on that in the beginning. He was like, we already got, you know, a lot of things against us already from a systematic standpoint, so why even make it even more divisive based on skin tone?
I have
that
to
just
agree.
makes no sense.
But we also have to understand where that comes from, right? Are we really looking for lighter skin, or are we really looking for better treatment?
Okay, what you mean by that? What you
Okay.
Are you okay? You talking about better treatment from us or better treatment from
No.
the other side?
Better treatment from the outside, right? Like, are
Okay.
people so obsessed with that light dark situation because they feel, and sometimes, and I would have to say sometimes appropriately so, that their proximity to whiteness and light skin will afford them more opportunities. Like,
okay.
so
Okay.
if that is built into your subconscious, and that is what your world is like, it's like saying, it's like what's happening. And I briefly just want to, I swear, I just touching on this to draw a parallel.
No,
It's
go
like
ahead.
the whole,
You can
it's
say
like the whole,
say whatever. You can build on whatever you want to build on. We here.
it's like the BBL thing, right? Everybody's like, oh my God, why are these girls going out here getting BBLs? Because men are telling women, oh, look at your body. You don't look like this is snatch, so you don't deserve love. You don't deserve a good man. You don't deserve an intelligent, kind, loving, gentle, nurturing man, because you don't look good enough. So what are they doing? Going and buying good enough. And so are we not just doing the same thing? If as a society as a whole, you're being treated better the closer you are proximal to whiteness, then that would like create a subconscious desire to be more white, and therefore a predisposed preference for things that are lighter, because you're thinking that that's the way to be able to survive. But keeping in mind, I'm using light and not black. I mean, even though this is a black issue as well, because it's not only within like the black community. We see this, I see this in the Latino community as a biracial woman. So in the Latino community, it is just as prevalent, where, you know, if you look at Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, they have the same sort of thing between them. In fact, my uncle, may he rest in peace, his nickname was Blackie. And he was
wow.
You know what I mean? Because he was the darkest one of the family. So once again, I think it's you know, it's one of those things that it's already a problem, and the only way we fix the problem is by making sure that we're part of the solution and not part of the problem. So learning to parent our children in ways that make them understand that their skin tone, regardless of the depth or the amount of melanin that's in their skin, they are beautiful, and that they are worthy of love, attention, success, and whatever else, just as much. And not putting so much emphasis on aesthetics. Oh, you cute. Oh, you're gonna be a heartbreaker. You know, like, stop. Let's start using, you know what, you're really smart. You're a really intelligent child. You know what? You're very athletic. Like when we do that and supporting like those things, then we can also slowly, it's a slow process. Nothing changes overnight. We also want to push for inclusion in places that we're not normally seen. Like I remember being subscribed, my mom would pay for a subscription to 17 magazine. The only version of myself I saw in there was like some super duper light-skinned girl with the most perfect hair ever, styled and photoshopped, and I don't look like that. I mean, if you go on social media now, nobody looks like that. So
that is a fact.
So the point is, like, you know, we start with each other. We start by the raising, and we start by that encouragement, and we start by demanding to be seen. In other protected communities, when it comes to movies, when it comes to modeling, when it comes to any sort of forward-facing industry, they are fighting to be seen. They are fighting to be represented. And so I think we need to do the same thing.
And listen, I believe I'm gonna touch on the whole BBL thing, and then I'm gonna touch on the points that you said, and I'm gonna just get to the video. Shout out to Travel One. I see you in the building. Travel One says she gives a greeting to everyone. You know, definitely including Grace. She says, you know, where you've been. Black men are the colors and pushes. They broadcasted way back when and now. Okay. I hear your opinion. Salute the Highway 20 Skinny. What's going on? Salute. All right. So, and I think Travel, I think that we don't. I think doing a whole blame game don't help anything. But I do get your point. And I also kind of hear what Sis says too, as far as like with the men push as well. I will say this though. I think a lot of times these are just like people of a certain age, and I think also social media that's pushing certain things, right? Because I don't believe anybody that's really like in a mid 30s to late 30s or 40 and up like me, we ain't really focusing on that. We ain't focusing on no BBL. We ain't focusing on none of that. We trying to, you know, take care of bills, build a legacy, and take care of these kids, man. We ain't focused on none of that.
And that's who we have. But that's what I was saying. Where are those people? We need that out there.
I get it, but the youngins, the youngins, right? The ones that's below our age, right? You know what I mean? Their voices are loud because we know what it is when we was that age, right? We was in our 20s and all that. We were the voice of what was put out there. We was the voice of music. We was the voice of what was fashionable, right? Our voices was louder. Now their voices are louder, so they're bringing all this other stuff that we look at and we're like, what is all this? But this is what they are. This is what they are pushing, and this is what they also are programmed to push. You know what I mean? Or also paid to push, right? They're I think she's still here, but I think she got a call coming in. Travel One says, no, you good. Well, black men do that. You as a black man can't deny it. Black men out here loudly bashing and blaming black women for everything. When a black man has fed all of y'all, when a black woman has fed all of y'all, just saying. Listen, but like I said, that's a small community of black men. It ain't everybody, right? Not all black men want a woman with a BBL. Not all black men want a woman that's doing this or doing that, or just cooks and don't say nothing. Like, no, that's a narrative that's being pushed through social media, and that's a narrative that's being pushed through people that are younger. And, you know what I mean? That's what I see. And then the men who are older, who are pushing this, are men, you know, who and just from what I know, they're not being chosen by women. Ain't a woman trying to see them. Ain't a woman trying to come through. They ain't going on no dates. You know what I mean? They're being used for financial resources and everything else.
Listen,
right?
Preach.
These are men that are not being chosen. So because they're not being chosen, because Crystal Carmen is doing the sidewalk shuffle with them every time she see them, now all black women are bad. You know what I'm saying? So when she see them, she ignoring them. She not giving them no compliments, nothing. You know what I mean? She trying to get past him and get to the store and get back home. That's what she's trying to do. She's not trying to build a politic with them at all. But the brother that she's trying to build a politic with, he ain't got no complaints. He don't know here complaining.
And he didn't have to shuffle. He didn't have to side.
It's the one that's not being chosen. And it's the same on the other side. Hold on, since I'm let you build. It's the same on the other side. The women who are not being chosen, now all the black men are this way. Now all brothers are this way, or all brothers are that way. Just because you're not being chosen, or because things ain't work out the way you want it to work. You know what I mean? And we got to stop doing that. Like, if you're not being chosen, I'm going to do a show about that too. If you're not being chosen, stop trying to broad stroke a whole community. You know what I mean? A girl with brown eyes said no to you. Now all brown-eyed women are evil, right? A brother who's 6 foot tall don't want you. All 6 foot tall men are bad. Come on, man. Like cut it out, man. Like, please.
You know, it's
like,
so
we gotta
funny.
Stop this. Go ahead, sis.
Cause I ended up finding, like, you know how people are like, oh, 6 foot, whatever. And it was so funny because during my whole life, I never worried about a guy's height, like, ever. And so hearing everyone going, oh, every black woman wants a, I was like, what? I don't know what you're talking about, because I've never even thought about it until I saw it on, like, you know, the podcasts that are coming out. And I'm like, really? I didn't even know. Now to be fair, I ended up with a 6'3" person, but like that wasn't intentional. Like, it was a blind date. But I was like, this is crazy. I've never once thought about anyone's height. Like, I've always just wanted to be with a good person who, like, was quirky like me.
Like you said, your mindset too, right? The mindset is different. Yeah. You're mature.
I want to say mindset, yeah, quirky, willing to have fun, expressive. I have a term, I do the relationship coaching. And so my term for it is really a drink. You need a drink, a driven, receptive, intelligent, noble, and kind man. Like, that's
okay. I like that acronym. I like that.
But that being said, colorism has come into play in relationships, in, work environments. And I mean, it's an ongoing battle, and I don't think that it has any one set solution. But what I do know is that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So we have to also be conscious of what we're saying and what we're doing and what we're exposing our children to coming up, so that they can feel better about themselves first, because it's a crazy, like, they're coming up in an era where they're watching everybody else's highlight reels, right? So that, and encouraging them, and then the second part is fighting for representation in movies, in plays, in music, in every, we have to start building gaps that allow us to be seen in places where they're not normally seeing people of color. That will certainly help. So one of the things that I like to do is I call it showing up as Black in predominantly white spaces. So because I feel like, I belong in every room I walk into. And there's enough people not showing up for other things, so I just want to show up. So I'm like always at the PTA meeting. I'm always in the golf place. I'm like in the golf classes and courses. I'm in the science fairs. I'm trying to be everywhere where you don't expect me to be, learning, absorbing, and participating in everything that life has to offer on purpose. So, so that, people coming up, teenagers, young women, whatever, like, oh yeah, Crystal goes to tea parties. I want to go to tea parties too. Like, whatever. I want to learn how to golf. My son just told me he wants to learn how to play tennis. Cheers to that. Tea parties.
Okay. And she got the tea right there on deck. You know what I mean? I see it. So, you know what I mean? Salute to our OG, Mr. Kareem Bliss Johnson. You know what I mean? He's listening. You know what I mean? He definitely will join us pretty soon. He's moving and grooving right now. Let me give my OG his wrench. I haven't given him a wrench yet. And it's because I haven't been live in like forever. So that's why. Where is my thing at? Hold on. Here it goes. Okay.
But yeah. So I mean, that's my thought on those topics, and I would like to sort of delve um more into some of the topics we talked about one day,
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Definitely, and we definitely gonna delve into a lot of different things, and definitely, sis, like, whatever you have that that you want to um basically talk about, or things that we can just build on, what, especially the relationship things too. I'm gonna have a whole relationship podcast, right, that we're gonna do. Okay.
Oh, if you have
And
a traditional, I love the traditional relationships. That's my specialty, is courtship.
okay.
I believe in that. I think that I believe in courtship, and I think that cotillion balls and all of that needs to come back.
Okay.
To
Okay.
this
Okay.
side.
Definitely, we're gonna have a panel. What I mean? Salute to Miss Polly. Salute to everybody that's a part of the team on the Evaluation of Love on podcast. We definitely coming back with some things. So when I do the Evaluation of Love one, it's more than likely gonna be a closed panel. Okay, so it's only gonna be the people that I invite. Sis, you already know you're there. So
Thank
and the rest of
you.
the family is there. So yeah, it's gonna be a closed panel. I have a closed panel of 10, and we're gonna really talk about relationships. Like, we're gonna really dig deep, and we're gonna ask some questions. I'm ask questions about, I'm asking some deep questions about hygiene, about know how to court, about all that. Like, we're gonna really get into it. Okay,
Don't get me
what fabrics to
started.
put on, all
Don't
that.
get me started. Don't
No,
get me
we gotta
started.
have the
So
discussion
wait, I
because
just wanted to
I'm
say
sick of
that.
the
That's another
complaining.
thing. That's another stereotype I just want to break while I have the platform to say it. I am also tired of the belief that there are, like, girls will be like, oh, there's no good black men left, there's no gentlemen, there's no this is that. That's all lies. Like, I promise you. I've seen it, I watch it, I witness it. My friends see it, watch it, I'm witnessing it. I'm married to it. Like, it's a lie. Not a thing. Harder to find, for sure. But it's it's a misrepresentation that I think people tell themselves when they can't figure out why they can't find one. Yeah.
Man, yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot deeper than just the
Oh,
surface
I
of things
oppose
that people
marriage.
share.
Okay. Well, I mean, some people
And
oppose
you don't
marriage.
like my music got a lot of views on marriage and everything else. He's shared them
Well,
before.
I mean, that's
Salute to
okay. And
him
we
as
can,
well.
I don't know if I want to argue about it. I mean, I feel like if you have so much resources that you want to not get married, don't. I mean, whatever. Protect your assets at all costs.
Protect yourself at all times. My salute to my uncle who told me that, and all my OGs that told me that. Protect yourself at all times. Okay, that's not
And,
just in the bedroom. That's
but
life.
but you
Okay.
see, those men are generally married to non-multiplying women. I'm a multiplier.
Mm.
So, but that being said, to each his own. But a man who marries a woman who is a genuine multiplier is likely going to, like, if by the time they came to a place where they had to split assets, it'd be half hers anyway. Like, not hers because of him, but hers because of the multiplication. So, touche. We can argue
Absolutely.
about
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. Let's get into our next video, sis. We got another one coming up. All right,
Okay.
this one's gonna be very controversial. Okay. The OG says, let me see what the OG is saying. He says, yeah, they have serious hygiene issues these days. Get women spray ish on themselves instead of bathing. Yes, people be
I
doing that,
can't.
man. The brothers be doing that too. The Axe and all that. Look, you gotta take a bath, all right? Axe ain't gonna do it for you. Old Spice ain't gonna do it for you. Get in the bath, sis. Whatever you use in the bath and body or whatever y'all using, that they gonna do it for you. Please take a bath, right? And then you don't let me say he doesn't. That our sister here, Crystal Carmen, don't need his approval. She don't. She doing her own thing. She's already married. She's solidified. She's doing the thing. You know what I mean? Mr. Johnson says marriage is essential for the growth of our nation. Facts, facts. And then like my music says to the OG says I don't even know where to be in with that, so I won't. Cheers, mate. Okay, okay, okay. All right, let's get into our next video, y'all. All right, fair use to everybody. All right, let's especially YouTube, so y'all don't, take this video down and strike it. All right, let's get into it.
Last question.
Yes, brother.
Your family comes from Nigeria, and
Yes,
you were going back and forth to Nigeria. So culturally, you're very Nigerian. You can tell, you're constantly referencing it. You do the accent sometimes.
Yeah.
These days, you have this interesting kind of thing happening between what they call foundational Black Americans versus Black immigrants.
Okay.
There's even terms like tethers. Have you heard that before?
No, I haven't. No.
A tether, and I actually looked it up, so I say it correctly, is a term used by foundational Black Americans to describe African or Caribbean immigrants who moved to America for economic opportunity using the benefits of the American civil rights struggle while simultaneously disparaging the history, legacy, and lineage of the Black American movement.
Okay.
So, Tariq Nasheed, I don't know if you know who he is. He's been a guest on my show a couple times. He's real big on this. He even did a documentary about hip hop, where basically the main point is that hip hop was created by Black Americans. Jamaicans had nothing to do with it. Puerto Ricans had nothing to do with it, even though Kool Herc is Jamaican.
It's Jamaican, yeah.
But that had nothing to do with hip hop.
Yeah.
It's all American. Have you ever noticed kind of like the tension between Africans and Black Americans?
Absolutely.
And so describe to me how you view that.
Well, for a long time, man, it's not even just Africans too. You can throw in Haitians as well. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like growing up, it wasn't cool to be African. You were the butt of every joke, African booty scratcher, you're dark as hell, you look like midnight, I just happen to be light-skinned. So the ignorance of it is like, I've never seen a light-skinned Nigerian before, but I didn't get those things. But a lot of my cousins and a lot of my friends went through a lot of it. But when I was back in Nigeria, I was like one of the few really bright, light skin with light eyes back when I was a kid in my village. So they ostracized me, and I was American. So they were like, you're a white man. You're Oyibo. We don't want you now. You know what I mean? So I was left alone a lot when I was back in Nigeria, to be quite honest, until I got older, and then it became, he's the cool American cousin. But both places didn't accept this side of this side of who I am, because it was just the outsider. So, and when I grew up, a lot of the Haitian, Jamaican, first generation kids, they didn't have, from where I'm from, they're only speaking from where I'm from, they weren't really up to date on fashion or up to date on style or these things. So they were made to be fun of, like, yo, look at the African boy over there. It's only until 2017 or 16 that it became cool to be African because of.
Okay, I believe she's having technical difficulties. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be right back. Whew, man. You know what I mean? Y'all see the video? Y'all seen what was just put up there? He said, "There's no way to begin other than acknowledging the truth of it. A man who can't or won't take care of a wife and family can't soldier nor lead." You know, like when we said this is the land of immigrants, all right? The homie Braxton says, so y'all know, tether doesn't apply to only foreign Black people. It goes for all colors and ethnicities. Wow, okay. He says, by the way, in his defense, there are bright-skinned Africans regarding Nigerians I've talked to in person and on social apps. My older sister dated one herself. Okay. All right, and listen, let's wait for our sister to come back. The link is pinned in the chat. Y'all know y'all could come up at any time, share your views, okay? Just be respectful, but share your views, all right? You know what I mean? Y'all already see the rules of engagement at the bottom. I'm not going to go through them. Y'all already know what it is, all right? The OG says, I just told my class It wasn't cool in fashion be from the continent of the Caribbean. Wow. Wow. And see, that's the problem. It's a lot of these things that are pushed, these narratives that are pushed about it's not cool to be from here, or it's not cool to be from there, or this, that, and the third. So all these narratives are pushed, you know what I mean? And what we don't see is that all we're doing is just going against ourselves. You know what I mean? So, you know, okay, so you know what my music says, we fight about important ish like all good brothers do. Okay, okay, okay. Definitely, definitely. And that's what we need to do. We need to focus on the primary issues. We ignore a lot of primary issues and we get into these debates about different things that don't even matter. You know what I mean? Instead of focusing on, really, the oppressiveness in the system, our youth, committing a lot of crimes and different things, and, us, basically trying to, gain some type of, you know, wealth or things of that nature, just trying to just, sort out different things within the system in order for us to thrive, right? Instead of surviving, we want to thrive. We want to thrive and make things better, you know what I mean, for ourselves and the next generation. So if that means that we may have to systematically rebel against certain things, then we got to do it. If that means we got to challenge the status quo on a lot of things, even within our families and our friends and everything else, we have to do it, right? I want to play some more of this video because I love what he was saying. I love what he was sharing, right? So I'm going to play some more of this video, right? I'm waiting for Sis to come back up. You know what I mean? I'm going to play some more of this. All right, let me share my screen again. Okay, let me go back to it. All right. Fair use. Let me throw my fair use banner. Okay.
Black Panther because of Afro beats, and now I want to know my genealogy and all this. I remember the first time I realized that, it's not to be cool to be African. I was on set with Lorenz Tate, and he was like, yo, bro, I just did my 23andMe, and I'm like 60% Nigerian, bro. So I can eat that jollof rice and all that, that oyibo, that fufu. I'm like, I've never heard, anyone talk like that. And it's a beautiful thing, but it was a really it's a very recent transition into acceptance, and so I grew up for a long time seeing the opposite, but I'm happy that it's where it is now, but yeah, there was definitely a lot of miscommunication, a lot of judgment, but again, once you realize that Black Americans come from Africa and really understand that, you're one of us. You just don't know where you're from, what country you're from yet. But if you do more research, you'll understand. But you're one of us, even some Cubans, even some South Americans, even Jamaicans derive from, Africa. So like, we're all from this same place, and so once we start realizing it, and I think music has brought the world closer as well. So it's cool to be African now. It's like a fraternity, a sorority.
Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to stand on it, and I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
Senegal has the best jollof rice.
Oh, all right. It was good talking to you. Fuck you, talk. We had a great talk, bro. Why would you do that?
Senegal has the best jollof rice, man. I'm telling you. I think it's the short grain, the short grain rice and the spices and everything else like that. And maybe it's because the first time I tried jollof rice was when I was in Senegal.
Okay,
so maybe that's
enough.
part of it.
Yeah.
And I know this is a horrible debate
in
the African community.
I gotta plead the fifth, bro. Senegal is fire. Ghanaian jollof is fire. Let me just. It was good talk. Okay.
But you're gonna say Nigerian rice is the best jollof rice?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, it is.
Wow, family. Okay, man. I love the perspective that brother. I think is it Rotimi? I think his name is. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, but or Rotimi. However you pronounce it, bro. I love your perspective, man, and just the things you shared about, just colorism and just how it has affected our community overall. Salute to the homie Smitty's Corner. Salute, salute. What's going on, bro? Let me get to the comments. Fela Kuti, yes, definitely. Fela Kuti was definitely revolutionary. You know what I mean? Made his music a revolution. Exactly. Brother Braxton says FBAs and non-American blacks are completely separate groups, evolutionary and culturally. Okay. That's your opinion. I get you. Smitty says, smash like and subscribe, support our own. We all we got. That's a fact. You know what I mean? Definitely if it resonates with you, definitely like and subscribe. All right. You don't like my music? Says Motown did more for civil rights than MLK. I don't know about that one, but I hear you. Bryson says, nah, we're definitely not. Obviously, lots of foreign black people will even tell you you're not one of them. Lots of them already deeply despise FBAs till they get that wake up call. Interesting. Highway 20 Skinny agrees with Braxton. All right. Braxton says all the while they try to imitate Black American style and culture. They try to get FBAs to move to Africa while they try to move to the U.S. Wow. Okay. So they're trying to move us out of our position. Is that what you're thinking? Okay, Braxton, I see you. Highway 20 Skinny said they're trying to recruit us in Ghana. Wow. All right. Well, listen. I think that we're all connected. I think that we're all one. Right? Do I think that we have some issues or there's certain things going on culturally within us that cause separation? Of course, right? But I don't think that we are like it's all these people who are of one color on one side and we all look alike, and then there's another one on the other side. I don't think that. I think that we all are one, but we've been separated through colonization, right? You know what I mean, and other forms of different things. The colonizer and the oppressor have separated us, so now there's a lot of infighting. The best scenario of that, you know what I mean, and the best literal life example of this is the island of Hispaniola. Okay, my Instagram people, I'm about to put y'all back on. Give me 1 second. Right, the island of Hispaniola. If you've done your research, right, that is basically Dominican Republic and Haiti. Right, these are two people that are the same people. Right, they're literally the same people. Yet they believe they're different. Yet they don't like each other. Right, but they are literally the same people. You know what I mean? But through colonization and oppression, they've been separated. Right, so the other folk came from the other side, and now they completely separated our people. You know what I mean? And now they're fighting and hating each other, but yet they are the same person. They related. They live on the same island. You know what I mean? But through colonization and oppression, now, Haitian hates Dominican, Dominican hates Haitian. They on the same island. But these are the things that have gone on within our community that, that we've been affected by, that has caused a separation. You know what I mean? If we don't see that, then we are truly blind. You know what I mean? Brother Braxton says, okay, I read that part. I read that. Okay. And he said, this is directed to the tethers, only not the whole foreign black community at large. Okay. Highway 20 Skinny and Braxton are agreeing. Okay. You don't remember you said we are all multiracial and we are anti-fascist. Okay. Braxton said they can't even trace back the history and lineage, while Black Americans can trace theirs back centuries and centuries. I got you. My color, not my kind. I love that quote. Okay. Well, listen, everybody has their opinion, right? And that's cool. You know what I mean? But the thing is that, if you're part of the melanated community, we know that we can track our lineages back to where? Africa, right? You know what I mean? So we kind of know that. You know, I think we all know that. So, and if not, then, you know, hey, if you got to do you know, a lineage test, or you got to do the 23andMe or whatever you got to do, right? Get it done and find out where your heritage really is. If you really believe that you ain't a part of the diaspora at all, and maybe you more rocking with, you know, the Caucasian side or the Asian side or whatever, right? Go do your 23andMe. Go find out. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, if you haven't done that, then guess what? You know, when you get your wake up call, or when you get pulled over, right, by them authorities, you're gonna be told what you are. You know what I mean? They're gonna let you. They're gonna let you feel what you are too. They're gonna put that feeling in you. You know what I mean? Of letting you know that you are different than everybody else. Okay? Embrace the Grace says, don't forget to press the like button, share, and comment. Definitely support Embrace the Soap and other great content creators. Absolutely support all the content creators that you see up in here. From me, Grace Smitty, my OG, Mr. Kareem Bliss Johnson, man. All the content creators. Salute to Crystal Carmen. I don't know what happened. I think she had to take an important phone call. So yeah, you know what I mean? I'm gonna continue to be on here for just a little bit more. I might drop another video if nobody comes up. Okay. So, you know what I mean? I'm gonna drop another video, I'm gonna build on it, and after that I'm probably gonna close shop. All right, because I have a lot of things to do. Okay, but if anybody wanna come up, I'm gonna drop another video. I'm gonna give y'all some time. All right. So after the video drops, you know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna log off, and definitely, man, if this bill really resonates with you, definitely share it. You know what I mean? Definitely, you know, comment after, and if you want me to build on this again, definitely let me know. DM me or whatever else, and let me know what you thought, or what you want me to do. And definitely after the show, if you want to leave a comment about the show, you know, and leave your perspective, I definitely would appreciate that, and I definitely want to see your comments about, you know, this topic, because it's definitely hard hitting. If I believe that every other white that every if I believe that every other white person was on my side, I would be in trouble. Wow. So she talked back, says great conversation. Well, thank you. This a real crew? Yeah, definitely. We definitely keep it, you know, real up in here. You know what I mean? We definitely have to. Let me see my next video. Let me see. What's my next video? Okay, let me go here. Okay, I see my next video, y'all. All right. And this is going to give a different perspective, completely different perspective than what y'all just seen, all right? Let me share my screen. All right. All right, Braxton. You know what I mean? I see you. You know what I mean? I'm going to drop the time. I'm going to drop the 5-minute time. I'm going to give everybody 5 minutes after I play this video. All right? So people got 5 minutes to come up. You know what I mean? Thank you, M3. Thank you for the love and support. You already know. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all also support, you know what I mean, our sister channel, man. Knowledge and Relationships. All right? That's the other channel that's a part of our movement. Okay? If you do want to be part of my business chat, and you definitely, you know, like our shows, and you want to know about the shows before they come up, and you want to give your opinion, DM me. Okay? DM me or send me an email. Okay? If you have my email, if you need my email, you know, put something in the chat, and I can know that if you want the email or not. Or just DM me on Instagram, okay? You know, at the Intellectual Soapbox, and, you know, I'll definitely respond back promptly, okay? So yeah, let's get to the next video. All right, let me drop my fair use real quick.
I want to switch topics, but because this is a very controversial talking point on the internet, right? I go on TikTok, and I see a lot of UK people speaking about black Americans, right? What a lot of people, the UK, Africans, Caribbeans, a lot of their talking points is black Americans or FBAs don't have culture. What do you say to those people who say that?
That's a projection. That's a projection, because we are the culture here. Our lineage goes back to this country long than the lineage to their country, because their countries are relatively new. especially over there in West Africa. Many of, not just West Africa, all of Africa, many of those countries were basically created in the 1800s at the Berlin Conference. So they don't have a deep, rich culture. That's why a lot of them have to leave, because of a lot of tribal. They're not as deeply rooted as they're supposed to be. So they do a lot of projecting onto us. Our culture is so deeply rooted here. Everything about American culture that is good comes from foundational Black Americans.
True.
The food, the dance, the slang, the sports, the entertainment.
Dress, yeah.
They try to say you can't use those examples nowadays.
Why can't we? Well, foundational Black Americans created the modern doorknob. We created the modern toilet. We created modern dry cleaning. So many things that we created. We created the modern home security system. I mean, we've had 50,000 patents. We can claim all of this stuff. All of the music genres was created by foundational Black Americans. We are the culture. And they know this, because if you go to their countries, they're acting like us. We're not acting like them. They got on baseball hats and Nike shoes and stuff that we're wearing.
That's right.
90-degree weather.
Right. They ain't wearing kente cloth sweatpants. They're wearing Nikes and Adidas like we're wearing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
So even when you went to say about how the countries in West Africa, like I've seen an old map of Africa before they had the invisible lines with the borders with the countries, and like you said, those countries didn't exist until like the time frame you said. So you know, when I hear this conversation, and I think you've seen one of our clips. It was a Haitian woman, and she was like,
I definitely remember that.
you know, she was sitting on the couch and she was just like, "Oh, I can't date a Black American because Black Americans don't have any cultures," and that one just went crazy online because it just, while she's dressed like an American Black woman, she's sitting there talking about Black Americans don't have like, you know what I mean? So that is always a kind of divisive talking point in the diaspora.
And they can never tell us what their culture is, because when people call up to our lives and start talking about culture, I ask, what is your culture? They can never give an answer. You understand? We can give answers to what our culture is, all of the music and the foods. We can give that. But they can't really give an answer to what their culture is.
So,
and that's no disrespect to our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. We got love for you. But those who come over and try to denigrate us and project this weird thing, we will check them.
Why is it so easy for everyone to attack, you know, the culture of Black? American.
The thing is, this is the game they play with us. We are so inclusive. We share our culture with everybody. We're too damn nice.
Too damn nice.
That's been the problem, because whenever we do something, we say, okay, we chop it up to just global Africanness. We've been on that. So if we do something positive, we'll say, hey, our African brothers, we got it, probably from some tribe or whatever. We're sharing it with everybody. For a long time, we were sharing hip hop with the Caribbeans, because they were like, well, Caribbeans help do it. And we're like, not really, but we'll share. We're all Black. We had that type of thing. And that was a mistake, because what happens is a lot of these people who didn't create anything, we give them something, then they take it for granted and then say, hey, you know what? I did it and y'all didn't do shit, and y'all ain't got no culture and we do. And we're saying, hey, we ain't playing that game no more.
Man, okay. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. You know what I mean? Salute to him. Man, let me give a shout out real quick. And I see you up in a spot, Mr. Braxton. You know what I mean? See you up in here, bro. All right. Before I get to you, let me give a shout out real quick. You know what I mean? Salute to my man Big Rick Slaps. What's going on, Big Rick? Make sure y'all like and support. Big Rick Slaps. You know what I mean? His YouTube channel, everything he doing in social media. Make sure y'all show the brother love. He's UK via Canada. We are with y'all. Got you, got you. Black culture. Okay, okay. Salute, salute. Braxton, man, what's going on, bro? What's your unpopular opinion on just everything you've seen so far, bro? What's going on?
What's up? Nothing much. Yeah, I'm just looking at some news right now, as usual. But yeah, but my own words on a couple of things that was said earlier on to right now. When Crystal was on, before she had dropped off. Oh, I see Anthony down there. So I mean, I see Marcus. My bad, Marcus down there. So Marcus. Um, when she said earlier about white people, if not most white people, like, well, both white and non-white people, well, people who are not black, who is like, they understand the basis of racism and discrimination. Is like, it's like they understand but still fully don't get it. Now, I don't know if you remember this. Now, back in, I think around 2004, Ice Cube, he came out with a segment called Black and White. So he had like white family, black family, switch colors for I don't know how long, and I don't know how long being a series that went on, but yeah, but at the end of the series, it didn't end too well. And then now before that, in the mid '90s, Oprah also had a segment of of black people making themselves white and black people, and white people making themselves black, so they can know what one another experiences out in their separate daily lives. And the experiment was quite interesting. I wish that they would do something like that now, but in these times, I think, and with people being, just so overly sensitive, and so easily triggered, I don't know how that would go in these times, but, but still, that's a good way, to get more conversations going and get, and get real solutions out there. And relating to colorism, I say pretty much in any dark community outside of black, like any group of people that phenotypically and genetically has dark skin, like it's just like a given for them to 9 times out of 10 to come out with dark skin. It's gonna have a touch of colorism, due to a lot of factors, and white supremacy. Well, like if one group of people or nation, was conquered by Europeans, I say there's going to be there will be a touch of colorism in the mix because it's heavily amongst the Indian communities, the Arab communities, and the Pakistani communities, etc. Also, but when it comes to colorism amongst Black Americans, now it's both genders like plays their part in continuing colorism. But in my opinion, and I'm not putting this on all Black women, but the most I've seen it came from mostly out of Black women, as I've seen. Even some of the women in my own family. Now with me, back when I was old enough to kind of understand it, when I was in middle school around 6th, 7th grade, I never got the whole when it comes to bright skinned Black dudes, they're soft, they're feminine, they try to be pretty boys, blah blah blah, they're punks. And I was like, no, that's not true. I said, just because a Black guy is a brighter skin tone, that doesn't mean that he's gonna be a pushover or soft or nothing. Because I've seen and known of bright skinned Black guys that will break your jaw and bust your head open, but yeah, so it's just like it's all around stupid. It's stupid because I say whenever somebody says because you're dark at this, because you're bright at that, I say okay, then when you say that to me, that's you saying that basically that even white people are more superior. No, white people are superior than you because their skin is much more bright. Because one, like the brightness of their skin, it surpasses the bright skin of a light skinned Black person, right? And that right there, also, it would not make any sense. Like you're given the color you were meant to. You're given the skin tone that you were meant to be. So just because you're bright or dark, it doesn't make you better or worse than anybody else. It's just a stupid, ridiculous concept. And when me and my older sister was having our own talk about it, I brought up I brought up a few Tyler Perry films. Now, one of them I brought up, it was Medea's Family Reunion, the film, not the play, the film. Now, my sister said, now the mother in it played by Lynn Whitfield. Now, she said that she believed the reason why she was doing her other daughter, Vanessa, the darker skinned one, the way she had did her was because she was dark. And I was like, in my head, I was saying, say what? Because now, man, if you can think back and remember the film, now in the film, she, the mother, played by Lynn, and the father, who wasn't shown but mentioned in the film, she was just as messed up, if not more messed up, as the dad. Because usually people got on the Tyler Perry about him either making, particularly the dark-skinned black guy, the villain in his films, or just making the man period out to be the guilty one, point blank period. But in a couple of his films, he balanced it out to where both the man and the woman were just as bad. But in Medea's Family Reunion, if you can remember, now the mother was she like she wasn't bright or dark either, but still, like her daughter who she had treated bad were kind of close to the same skin tone, I think, and her other daughter, the bright skinned one who she was marrying off to that bachelor, Carlos, played by Blair Underwood. Now, if you can think back, now Blair Underwood's character Carlos, the second villain in the film besides the mother, he was darker than all three of them put together. He was darker than the two daughters and their mother. So to my sister, I was like, so what does colorism have to do with that? Now if she did her daughter, in that horrible way just because she's dark skinned, why would she be marrying off her bright skinned daughter to a darker skinned guy who's darker than all three of them put together? So it all around makes no sense.
And that's the thing. It's the separation based on if the darker person is the evil one, or the lighter person is soft, or this kind of dark, right? All the separation and all these different terms where it's stupidity and it's ignorance. Now, I mean, let's just plainly put it out there, of what it really is, and that's why we have to control our image. We have to control our image, whether it's right here on social media, whether it's directly, whether it's with our family, whether it's with our friends. We have to control our image. We have to control the messaging that's being put out there. We don't do that, then they could just say anything, right? They can say, "Nah, you, Braxton, you're not black enough because your name is Braxton."
Well,
right?
you see in my own personal life, right, you're right, you're absolutely right.
So
because like with me,
anyway, they can flip it anyway, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Because you can even hear by the way I talk, I'm not what. Now I've been quote, I haven't been white, trying to be white, blah 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 blah, this and that and everything in between my whole entire life, But as I but I really started to kind of like embrace my quote whiteness when I turned like around 17, 18 years old, and me being into rock, metal, goth, so things that things that has not been stereotypically or culturally black. Black and what black people would not participate in the past. I've been doing it. That's just been me, and me being raised in the burbs and all that stuff, blah blah blah. But the funny thing is, now all the while I was either getting teased, criticized, or bullied for not being attached to my color. When I was in the burbs at home, I was listening to Tupac, Lauryn Hill, Nelly, 50 Cent, Alicia Keys, Slim Thug, G Unit, C Murder, you name it. I was bumping, I was listening to all that, and I was even dressing like it, sometimes to a point, so as much as my characteristics and my mannerisms have been white, I was still attached to my blackness, in a way. But but what I do like about these times now, fast forward to right now, you see like black people in the hood or who grew up in the hood, they're now into things that are stereotypically white. So now there has been like a shift in trend and cultures, so now I'm seeing black people participate in things that are quote, white, which I do like.
And it also goes down to even what we do in entertainment and sports, right? You know what I
Right.
mean? Whether it's the the Williams sisters or the Tiger Woods of the world or whoever, right? We see that
Mhm.
now, you know what I mean? The narrative is being pushed and is being shifted based on what we participate in, what we listen to, what we're involved in. You know what I'm saying? And those things now changes the whole narrative of you can't be black and do this, right? Because now
Right.
we are setting the tone of what blackness is, right? We're no longer allowing people to dictate, who we are, what we saying, or what we believe and think, right? So I believe it's good. And I believe it's good that we have all these different communities as well. You know what I mean? Whether it's it's the LGBTQ community, whether it's this community, that community, right? I like that we got the different communities because now we can hear everybody's voice. Because I want to hear everybody's voice, right? I want to hear what everybody's thinking, what everybody's feeling, their perspective, their views. Because when I hear that, now I know how to maneuver in the world, right? You got to know how to move in a room full of vultures, right? You know what I'm saying? So you got to know how to maneuver in this world. And if you're not hearing what people are saying and thinking, and now you get around them, now you get caught out there because now you're not aware. Always be aware. Always be aware of the different communities, different aspects of different mentalities, perspectives around you. You know what I mean? That would help you to be able to maneuver through life. You know what I mean? But if you're closed minded based on your culture, your religion, or whatever else, race or whatever else, if you're closed off and you're not seeing the different things that's around you, you're not being cognizant of the different things around you, then yeah, you're going to be completely thrown off. Like my music says, racist BS all day. Exactly. He said they saw it. They saw you as white. Why? Because you are smart and articulate. Okay, I think that's directed towards you, Braxton.
And yes, you don't like my music, yes, and that's exactly why. So, okay, well, I was told the one you were being why now. I don't know. Now soapbox. Can I say specific words on this stream? Or do I have to speak in code?
Nah, you good.
Okay, all right, okay. I'm making sure. Yeah, because I don't want to I don't want you to have a strike, and I don't want Miss Embrace to have a strike. But all right, cool. Now, now I was told that I was acting white, or I was gay, trying to be gay, or blah 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 blah, or I was lame, weird, like I said, just pretty much me existing, so me being different, that like me being different, like to them that was my punishment or what I would have to take on for being different. But in life, yes, if you're gonna be different from everybody else, different, if you're gonna be different in any type of way apart from other people, you catching hell comes along with it. It's just what it is. So if it does ever happen, you just gotta you gotta know how to deal with it and how to navigate it. Yeah, so when you choose to be different, it's gonna have its ups and downs.
Got you. Got my brother Dark Lake in the building. Dark Lake, what's going on? I don't know where you at. You know what I mean? You definitely back on this side of town where we at. You know what I mean? What's going on, bro? How you doing?
How you know that? How you doing, man?
Right out here in Cali, so I know we running the same.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, bro, I'm out of town. And I'm happy I'm out of town. It was like perfect timing, bro. I'm not dealing with none of the fires. It's crazy. But when I go back, I'll probably go back to Ash.
Sure your family and friends are safe and sound, for real, man.
Oh, absolutely, they are, man. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me on the show, Mr. Best in the World. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. What you think about the topic, man? About
so I can't
the community.
Yeah, so I can't stay long, but I was listening to your show, and you know me, Dark Lake, I just can't help it. I had to have my little 2 cents, you feel me? What the gentleman was saying, Braxton the Snake Fiend, is that the name?
Yes.
What you were saying, man, was true, like on so many different levels, right? The way that I see it is that it's meant these derogatory tropes, if you will, of colorism, right? It's meant to pigeonhole Black people of all types, right? And Mr. Best in the World was saying that we have to control our image, but we can't. I mean, it's been proven that we can't control our image from the outside, right? From people from the outside looking in, and also from the inside. And the inside is the example of how we perpetuate and regurgitate these systems of control and degradation such as colorism, right? So when you were making the point, Braxton, that like you were using the example of assigning and projecting femininity to lighter skinned black men, right?
Mhm.
And then you made a point that, well, if they're saying that because they're closer to white pertaining to the skin tone, right? My question is like, why aren't they saying that about white men? Why are they only focusing on lighter complected black men and projecting an assignment of femininity to them when they're saying they're that way because they're closer to white? But they don't actually project that same trope onto white men, which should tell you something. Because if lighter skinned black men are being called out for being feminine, then most certainly white men should be. But since they don't call them out for that, since they don't assign femininity to white men, that tells you that there's an agenda behind it and that they're trying to perpetuate a negative trope on black men. And it's not just light-skinned black men that these negative tropes of colorism are assigned to. It's dark-skinned black men, it's all different types, biracial black men, right? So I just think that what I wanted to add was that it's just a system of control and pigeonholing so that we don't come together as a group, right? And project our community and our culture the way it's supposed to be in the world. And so it's you know, there's a bigger plan to all this. And unfortunately, I mean, I think the powers that be, they have it all made out. It's working, whatever they're doing. You feel me? What do you think about that?
And that's to me, okay, you're absolutely right. Yes, exactly. And also, I'm gonna throw in what other? Oh yeah, for the bright skin, dark skin topic too. Another film portraying one example of a quote of a non-soft and feminine black man, but though his character was evil, is Michael Ealy's character in For Color Girls. You think he was a punk in that film? Absolutely not. And even if you want to go to what's the film? I think it's Takers with T.I., Chris Brown, Michael Ealy, and
Zoe Saldana. Zoe Saldana was in that one.
Was she? I don't think so. I had to look. I had to check that one out again. Yeah. But as far as I remember, it was Michael Ealy and Chris Brown and T.I. all in that film. Now, you think all three of those characters in that film was punks? Absolutely not. And also in real life, they are no punks. Hey, you know, Chris Brown history. He is a real one. T.I. is too. And and also Michael Ealy. So, and also for when it comes to dating, when black women gets with white guys and they marry and have children, you know, it's hand clap, applause all day, round of applause, right? But when black dudes get with white chicks and have kids, then it's boo, thumbs down. But here's the thing though, now for the black women who are on that, you know, who wants to praise black women for getting with white guys but want to down black guys for getting with white chicks. Now, when black guys and white chicks gets together, they have those same quote straight quote good hair, bright skinned little black and mixed kids that they love, praise, and fawn over so goddamn much. So so it makes no sense. So you're gonna down that, but hey, those makes for the same beautiful, good hair, bright skinned people that y'all love to praise and lift up so much more than our own selves and each other. So it makes no freaking sense. So if anything, you need to be, appreciating black guys and the white woman who helps make those type of people.
Hey, you Braxton, and I gotta go after this, man. But thank you so much for letting me add my 2 cents, Mr. Best in the World. It's a great conversation. I think it's a needed conversation, man. But Braxton, another level where it doesn't make any sense, right? When you have black women complaining about black men being colorist or color struck, what they say, and they get lighter complected or foreign or biracial women. Well, they praise other black women when they get with white men and have these light skinned, quote unquote, good hair, because I hate that term, but good haired women. But when black women have babies with white men, they're just making more of them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So then,
right.
And pertaining to population, right? Women are always going to outnumber men. So the probability of black men, no matter what his skin tone is, getting with a mixed chick, right? They are the ones who are creating that probability to increase by celebrating interracial marriages or dating with white men. And then we're the bad guys for dating what's in the pool out there. But you black women are creating them and then celebrate when they're created. But then when you have a pool of them in society, a black dude dates one, then he's color struck. Maybe stop fucking creating them. You see what I'm saying? And I don't mean that literally. That question I just asked, I'm not talking about, I love everybody. I'm not saying some people aren't supposed to be born. I was being sarcastic when I said that, right? I was just trying to show
an example,
yeah, an example. I was trying to show you how the level in which things don't make sense because we live in a Western world that has stricken away authority for men when it comes to families. And I think that's ultimately the problem. You feel me?
Right.
But hey, I gotta go, guys. I don't want to keep going on a rant. But thank you so much for having me on the show, Mr. Beth in the World. Hey, God bless you guys, all right?
You too. Yes,
all
right, talking with you.
All right, peace out.
Much love. Listen, y'all, man. You know, salute to Dark Lake. You know, what I mean, salute to him sharing his perspective, and everybody up here sharing their perspective. You know, this is the time that I will close the show down. All right. Now, I mean, if nobody else wants to come up, I'm gonna throw my timer up here. I'm gonna give y'all 2 minutes, man. I'll be nice. Give you 2 minutes. All right, give you 2 minutes. All right. Anybody want to come up? The link is pinned in the chat. All right, you got 2 minutes to come through. All right, once the 2 minutes is up, I will drop my outro. All right. You know what I mean? And please make sure, man, you know what I mean, that, you know, you guys are just, you know, let your voices be heard, man, whether in the chat or beyond. You know what I mean? So Grace says, I see you, Grace. Well, let me go all the way to the top so I can share everybody's comments before I get up out of here. No, salute to the homie Philip Boone. I see you. Salute, salute, salute. He says, good people understand right from wrong. We don't need school for that ish. We want democracy and equality, quarter whatever the F you want. Okay. I never liked ya. But he changed the beat. That means something. White men stereotypes suck too. Got you. Grace says it's not easy for biracial people. We get it from both ends. Okay. He says, I love brown girls. No shame in my game. I hear you. Grace says, I hate that I missed this show. It's all good, Grace. We will have another. You know what I mean? We'll just link up the schedule and we'll make it happen. He said, peace to my crew. Definitely peace to you, brother. All right. So yeah, as the ticker goes off, listen, you know, I want to say this, you know what I mean, in closing. I think that the colorism and image thing in our community, we have to really get a hold of it because it's really just causing us to be separate. And it's not allowing us to be united. It's not allowing us to, you know, really build on our full potential here within whatever country we're in, whether we're in Africa, Europe, you know, Central America, South America, the Americas themselves, Canada, wherever. We're not able to really build anything because we're so disjointed. We're so disunited. There's so much infighting between us. We have to get off of that soapbox, right? You know what I mean? And definitely promote unity, promote us, you know, building things together, and promote us just trying to build family and things that, you know, that we probably seen within the last 20, 30 years of us coming up. You know what I mean? From the older generation. You know what I mean? Salute to the old heads. You know what I mean? He says, I don't care what shade you are, you either hot or you ain't. I hear you.
Right.
Oh, Quantum, what's going on? Quantum, what's good? What's good? You came in right before we about to close, you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely, you know, salute to Quantum, salute to everything she's doing. You know what I mean? Shout out to her. Much love to her as well. All right. With that being said, y'all, okay, I'm gonna close it down.
And may I give my last 2 cents also, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, all right, sure. Now, in closing, in my closing words to this is to stay informed, stay educated, stay real, stay cool, and no matter what your skin tone is or what your ethnic background is, hey, you're a person, and if you're attractive, you're attractive, and whoever you love is whoever you love, and black hair is the real good hair. My closing words.
Wow, I actually did have a black hair segment too that I was gonna drop, but it's time to roll out, right? Y'all watch
Do it the next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it next time. It's gonna be a part 2 to this. All right, so it's the movie Blackhead with Chris Rock. I have a few videos on that. I got a ton of videos on these things. I know how I do, so I got a ton of videos.
All right, cool. And I also come and I'll also be on the next time when you do that. And also, I saw that movie in theaters.
Ooh, okay. So you can share the direct experience you had. Definitely, I definitely want you
Yes,
to come
sir.
up and share
Absolutely,
that.
yes, sir.
And also, y'all, we got the next show coming up, which is We All Have Our Struggles. I believe I'm dropping that on Sunday. The last time I checked. Hey, what's going on, sis? You know what I mean? Sit with the D Librarian. What's up? What's up? What's up? You know what I mean? Look, man. You know, if anybody want to come up, right? The link is pinned in the chat. All right, let me give D Librarian her wrench if she wants to come up and build on colorism and image and ethnic community. If anybody want to come up, you can. All right, I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. If you're gonna come up, please just drop a 1 in the chat so I know you're coming up so I can extend this. If not, I'm about to drop the outro. Okay, so the outro is about to drop. So if you think about coming in, let me know. She said, not chatting, not in a chatty mood today. Okay, sis. Okay. And then Marcus says, go Ravens. All right. Definitely. But yeah, y'all, the next one is we all have our struggles, okay? So it's going to talk about just, how we all go through it. We all go through different things. We all have our different struggles, whether it's substance abuse, whether it's, sexuality, whether it's sex itself, whether it's spirituality, religion. We all got our struggles, kleptomaniacs, everything. We're gonna get into it. We all got our struggles, right? All of us. You know what I mean? Thank you, family. Appreciate you, M3. You know what I mean? So to the business, my business partner and my brother, M3. You know what I mean? Love to all the listeners, definitely. All right, y'all. With that being said, you know what I mean? We are out. Let me get to these outros. All right, here we go. Peace.
the DJ.